Hi guys, bear with me for just a second. I am getting you set up for the demo. Let's see what it looks like. See if we got my head in there. Pretty good. But you can't see my, hi, somebody just popped on. Hey, bear with me a second. You're getting the setup here. How about that? We're gonna make burgers. I'm pretty decent with that. You guys will be able to see me cook. Ha, we got 3 people on already. Good deal. If you would, go ahead and start commenting and let us know you can hear me and see me. Oh gosh, you guys are really popping on now. Good deal. If we make it through this live without starting over, this will be the very first one. So I'm hoping that this is going to be it, guys. Awesome. Looks like we got about 15 of you on here now. Terrific. Okay, are they commenting?
Heather's already commented. So
hey, Heather.
She says hello from Tennessee.
Hi, you're from Tennessee. You're not that far from us then. Okay, we're going to Tennessee in October. We do that annually. Hey, guys. 18. Okay, good deal. I'm glad you guys are tuning in. I was trying to set up my little island here so you'll be able to see. Keep commenting. I still, for whatever reason, cannot see your comments, but my sister's here again today, so she is keeping me posted. She says she knows you can hear me and see me, so yay. Yay for no technical issues this time. That's what we are hoping for. All right.
I'm going to bring you the phone for a minute so you can just see a few comments.
Okay.
We got some Vancouver.
Oh, wow. Hey, Liz. Liz, okay, sounds great. The burgers sound great. Awesome. And there's Heather. I'm glad you can see. Gillian, oh, I like your name, from Vancouver Island. Oh, that sounds like loveliness. Island. Anything with island in it sounds awesome. Hi. And Susan, I'm going to scroll up. It's going to be great. Yes, it is. Because this is one of my favorite recipes. I make these burgers all the time. Hi, Lucy from Michigan. Awesome. You guys are really getting in here. And Terri Roberts. I've seen your name a few times, Terri. Oh, yeah, from Alaska. That's right. I remember. Okay. Let's see. Pam from Massachusetts and Tammy from Minnesota. Hey, guys, I'm so glad y'all are tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and give her phone back, and we are going to get started in just a minute. My sister and I were just talking a few minutes ago about some of the stuff we might do next week, so help me remember to tell them. It's just some thoughts about next week, as well as we would love to know for future lives, because we're going to be doing this every Tuesday. What do you guys want to see? And then we're going to do some cooking demos. Next week, what I'm thinking, I'll go ahead and tell you. What I'm thinking we might do, because like last night I made Alfredo sauce, and we had pasta and Alfredo and salad. And so I was thinking about next Tuesday when we come on live, show you how to make the Alfredo sauce, which is to die for. It is so good and so easy. And then we can talk about different kinds of pastas, because that's a huge question that I hear a lot. Even this week, I was telling my sister that got a lot of questions about pasta. So maybe next week, that's what we will do. But today, did you guys see that other video that I came on with, whatever day that was? I can't remember. With the mugs. I want to show them to you. So I ordered mugs that I can give away to you guys for prizes, and today we're going to give one away, as well as a book. I'm going to give away a book too. But they came, and I thought that they were so neat, because when I ordered them, I didn't realize it was going to have the logo on both sides, and it's Let Food Be Thy Medicine. That's part of the logo, so I love these. So the people that I send the mugs out to today, and I'm going to give another one away on Thursday, then I'm going to put a copy of my chocolate mug recipe that you can make just right. You mix all the ingredients right in here and put it in your microwave for 1.5 minutes. Not even 1.5. It's 1 minute and 5 seconds, and it's perfect, and it's fudgy if you don't cook it too long, and it's delicious. Single serving, dessert, and really no cleanup. This in a fork for stirring. That's all that you mess up. So I'm going to give this away to somebody. And I tell you what, can I see your phone again?
Yeah, you got all kind of good. You got somebody saying they tuned in just to get the mug.
Somebody, who was that?
Diane. She said
Diane.
that's one reason I tuned in to get the
Diane.
mug.
What's Diane's last name?
Tetuan?
Okay.
Tetuan?
I'm
That's
just wondering. Yes. All right, Diane, you just won the mug, sister. All right. That one is yours. You can win the mug today. So if you will PM me your mailing address, then I'm going to mail it to you. Okay, guys, here's another thing. Okay, Diane, you're going to be the guinea pig. So this is the thing. This is my problem with the mugs. I'm going to look at her phone. Do you need your phone?
No, you can
Okay,
keep it.
I'm going to hold it for just a second. All right, so this is the problem with the mugs. So I got to ship them, okay? And it's glass. And I'm not used to shipping glass stuff. And I was trying to figure out a way to do it where it's not terribly expensive. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. And I want, Diane, you let us know if it comes in one piece, okay? You really are going to be the guinea pig and then whoever wins it. So I bought these little bubble wrap things. And I'm going to wrap it in the bubble wrap. And then I showed it to my husband. I mean, like, it's a pocket. You can put it down in there. And I showed it to my husband and I said, do you think that that's going to work? You know, we can just put it in there. And then this box, I ordered boxes. See, I mean, we're just spending money all over the place. But they weren't that expensive. But I'm trying to keep it where it doesn't cost as much. And so it fits right down in here. And he said, well, wrap it again. So I'm going to double wrap these mugs. And I'm going to try to ship them in these boxes that seem pretty sturdy. And we're going to mark fragile on it. And hopefully it's going to come to you in one piece. So you let us know if you get it and if the handle's still on it, okay? Because I've seen how they throw stuff at the post office. So you're going to be the very first winner. And let me see what you guys are saying for just a second before we start. Okay, gosh. SoCal, okay.
Southern California.
Oh, Southern California. Okay, I was slow on that one. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Diane from Southern California. Brenda says Alfredo sauce sounds good. It is so good. We love that stuff. I make it very regularly. We ship a lot. LD, use more. Use more wrap. Okay. Diane says need to use more wrap. I guess so. And stuff some down in there. I guess I will. And Pam wants to know if you can buy the mugs. The answer is going to be yes. What I'm going to do when I ship Diane's out, I'll actually ship it out Friday, Diane. That's when I'm going to go into town. I'm going to give another one away on Thursday, so I'm going to try to ship them both on the same day. I got to find out how much it costs me to ship them. Once I find out how much it costs to ship them, then I can give you a price. But it's not going to be expensive because they weren't that much. They made me order 72 of them at one time. That was the minimum order. So I got a lot of mugs. And we are going to be giving them away, you know, for a long time. But I would love to. So what I'm going to do is figure out how much it's going to cost. I'm going to guess, don't hold me to it, but I'm going to guess they're going to be around $10, including shipping, maybe a little bit more, just depending on what the post office says. And I'm going to put them up on my shop page. On the website, there's a shop page that's got our digital products and a meal delivery service that we recommend and some Amazon products. So it'll go up on that page, and I will let you know for sure. But yes, you will be able to buy them. But I was so stinking excited about them because I thought they turned out so cute. The colors really pop. Okay. Completely fill the mug with wrap. And then it's harder to break. That's a good idea, Gillian. I think that's probably very much key. It'll have some more cushion and support in there. So awesome. All right, I'm going to leave the phone right here. You tell me if you need it.
Okay.
All right, so the other, let's see. I'll tell you about what else I'm going to give away in just a minute. But we will go ahead and get started. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything I wanted to tell you. So I've been really, really busy. I was going to mention this real quick. I've been really, really busy because I know I told you guys weeks ago that we redid the website, which we did, and that you were going to be able, you wouldn't believe people who have wanted metric, you know, on the measurements. And I understand that because, you know, the U.S. is kind of weird the way we stay with custom measurements for the ingredients and stuff. And so I haven't forgotten, and we are in the process. Grayson is somebody who helps me with the IT stuff behind the scenes because I'm not a techie girl at all. And he is dragging all of those recipes over 20 at a time for me. He's dragging them from one recipe card to another where we'll have metrics and we'll have even a sliding bar where, like if my recipe says it's for 4 servings, but you need 6 servings or 8 servings, it's going to have a little bar that you can slide over to the exact number of servings that you need, and it will automatically change the amount of the ingredients for you. And that is the coolest thing. And I know it's going to be very, very helpful, but it's a tedious process moving these over, and thank goodness for people who know what they're doing. But he's moving them over 20 at a time, and then I'm going through them. And we've had some technical difficulties in the last week or so with the nutrition information that wasn't coming over. But we're getting that nailed down, and now we're getting on a roll. So that will all be up, and I'm going to come on with, that will be a video where I'll show you all the new features to the website that will make it nice and easy for you guys to make whatever you want to in the amounts that you want to. All right, that should do. Oh, I have one more thing to tell you, and then we're going to make these burgers, which are so easy. Where are my black beans? Will you look in your refrigerator? I have black beans that go in this, and we're fixing to, there should be something in the refrigerator. I hope so. Oh, praise God. Praise the Lord. Okay, we have black beans. Thank you for my sister. She's so awesome. Okay, guess what I'm doing tomorrow? I have to tell you this really, really quick. Who on here knows Tim Kaufman and Heather Kaufman from Fat Man Rants? I've been following them for a very long time. I love them to pieces. And a few weeks ago, I got a text message, and it was Tim, and he said, hey, I forgot where they live. It's somewhere really, really cold up north, somewhere really cold, because there's snow in their videos all the time. But he said, we're coming to Asheville, which is only about an hour away from me. And they said, do you want to eat lunch? So tomorrow I am driving to Asheville and having lunch with Tim and Heather. And I am so excited. If I can, I'm going to see if we can do a little bit, not live, but we'll do a little video so you guys can see. But I'm really excited because we've talked a lot over the years, but never actually met. So I get to meet them. They've got amazing stories. On the success, we'll link on the success stories. Shelba's going to link. It's under the success stories, and it'll say, I don't know. I can't remember what the title of it is, but it's Tim Kaufman. I bet if she searches Tim Kaufman, or if you guys search Tim Kaufman on the website, then you'll see it. So, all right. Oh yeah, Sid. Hey, Sid. Sid, don't go away. Sid says, I know Tim and Heather. Sid, I know you know Tim and Heather. And you know what, guys? Sid is the author of the Plan A Diet book. I am so glad, Sid, that you're on here. Awesome. She gave away one of her books last week to one lucky winner. And Sid, I'm going to give another one away today. I love Sid's book. It's faith-based, so it's wonderful. She sent it to me a few years ago when she published it, and I was just thrilled about it. So you can have a combination of faith and Bible verses to encourage you as it is plant-based, to go on your plant-based journey. So I love that, Sid. So thank you for that, and thank you for being willing to give away your books. So she's going to give away one today, and then later on down the road we're going to give away another one. But last week when we gave one away, it was very popular and everybody wanted it. So I said we're going to go ahead and do that. Oh, Susan Miller, she has one waiting at the library. Well, that is awesome. How about that, Sid? And Brenda says she loves Sid's book. Awesome. I did too. It's People of Faith. It's a wonderful way to find strength and encouragement, not just about the food and the willpower, but the spiritual element to it too. So I love that. All right, we really are going to make black bean burgers now, guys. This is how easy it is. All right, so now that we have our black beans, mine are from a can. You guys can make them. They're easy to make in your Instant Pot if you want to. For convenience, I tend to do it from a can. But if you've cooked with black beans before, you know you have to drain and rinse them. Even more so than with any other bean is my personal thoughts on it, because the water that they were cooked in. If you're going to use them for a recipe like this and you don't need the juices, we don't need the juices. It's black and it's murky looking, and we don't need that. So I would say if you're going to use canned beans, put them in a colander, pour them into a colander, and then rinse them under cool water. That's what I've done with these beans. So you're not going to use any juices, and you're going to get that dark water off of them. And this is a can, and a can is about 1.5 cups of beans. So if you make your own beans, you're going to need 1.5 cups of cooked black beans. You definitely want them cooked. Don't be throwing those dry things in here to be flopping around and pinging on the bowl. Another thing is I use a really big bowl when I'm doing this because I want lots of room. We're not going to fill this bowl up with ingredients by any means, but you need some workspace. So we're going to put the beans in here and then find a place to put bowls. Okay. All right. Once the beans are in here, you've got to mash them. So if you've got a potato masher, this is what you're going to need. So we're just going to mash them, and you don't want to mash them so much that they become a paste, but you do want them like little chunks in there. I like actually when you got the finished product, seeing the little chunks in there, and actually having the little chunks as far as texture when you're eating too. So this is a can, but you know what? What I just showed you is actually 2 cans because I'm making a double batch. I guess I should mention that. When I make this recipe, the recipe makes about probably 5 good size patties or 6, medium size. But I make double or triple batches because they freeze really well. And so why not go, and they reheat excellent. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between fresh and defrosted and warmed. So I make plenty when I'm doing this, and then that way, when I'm tired, after a long day or dragging recipes across and having to look through hundreds of, I finally just saw the first comment come up. I wonder how many minutes are we in? 16 minutes into this, and I'm just now seeing comments, but they are pretty far, so I'm glad to have my sister's phone still here. And she's putting up links for the black bean burgers and the Chipotle sauce that we're about to make. For my mayonnaise, because the mayonnaise is an ingredient in the Chipotle sauce, and things that I mentioned. So she's so handy dandy. Thank you for being here. I just love her being here. Before I was winging it. I wasn't winging. I was kind of like flying like this. So it's so good having her here. All right, guys, I'm going to show you. So this is the black beans. You can see where I have them mashed pretty good. This is what we're having for supper. Do y'all say supper? Or is that a southern thing? Do you say dinner or do you say supper? We tend to say supper. But this is what we're having for supper. And so I am making, I know I'm saying a double batch, but I've already made some. Earlier this morning I made some because you guys couldn't hang around for 30 minutes for them to cook. So we got a lot of black bean burgers, and I'm going to freeze them. And on lazy days or tired days, I'm going to pull them out and we're going to have burgers. And it's not just for hamburgers either. We're going to talk about buns in a minute because we get a lot of questions about buns. But you can take these patties and crumble them up over a salad, or even over pasta, or even over a baked potato. They're just really good. There's a lot of different uses rather than just burgers. Okay, so we got the black beans mashed up. I'm going to go ahead and put the oats. I think it's 1 cup of oats, but I've got 2 cups of oats because, like I said, double batch. What kind of oats? I know that's your next question. I just use the old-fashioned oats. Now, I call these burgers gluten-free, and they are gluten-free. But those of you who are gluten intolerant, especially if you celiac or something like that, where you have to be so careful, anytime you're buying oats, they are naturally gluten-free, but they may be processed in a facility that also manufactures or processes other grains that have gluten in them. So even though even using this, they're gluten-free, if you have to, they can't be, if you're so sensitive that it can't be in association with any other thing, you're going to have to get the certified gluten-free oats. These are gluten-free, but they could have been contaminated by another grain. So just be sure if that's what you need, that's what you get. Okay, so we've got beans and we've got oats so far. I'm going to set this to the side for a minute because I'm going to chop up a bell pepper. Now this came out of Millie and Emmett's garden. You guys saw my video last Thursday. Millie and Emmett, my great niece and nephew, 9 and 6 years old. They've got this awesome garden, and I'm going to put up a video of their garden later on this week. But this came from their garden, and in my recipe, I call for a red bell pepper. That's just out of preference because it looks so pretty with those red pieces of bell pepper in the patties, but you can use any color, and a lot of people don't realize it's really just the same pepper. They start out green, you leave them on the vine. If you don't pick them, then they start turning yellow. If you still don't pick them, then they turn orange and eventually red. It's just the amount of time spent on the vine, so it's not going to affect the taste really. It's just the color. But I'm going to use this one that we have today out of their garden because it's what I have, and I didn't happen to have I don't know if you can see this or not. I didn't happen to have a red bell pepper, so I am doing this one. So I'm going to just get some of that out, and I'm not going to use the whole thing. I think the recipe maybe says half a bell pepper, but it's very, you could have a big bell pepper, or you could have a small one, so just, I'm going to say maybe a quarter cup, or it depends on how much you like bell peppers. I love bell peppers. My husband is not the hugest fan, so I am not going to put a ton. If it was just me, I would put more. I'm going to put more than this because remember, I'm making a double batch. So I've got a half of the bell pepper right here. I'm probably going to, for these two, end up with a half a cup diced bell pepper. So I'm going, and I'm making it into small pieces, mostly because I'm hiding them from Mickey, y'all. I'm trying to make him not see them. But no, in this, he really doesn't mind it so much, even though he's not normally a bell pepper fan. If it's chopped up small like this, it adds the flavor, and he's not even aware. I'm going to tell you another secret I'm doing that I can't tell in just a minute, okay? What he doesn't know won't hurt him. I hope he's not watching this. He might be. I doubt it. He's at work. Okay, so I've got these bell peppers chopped up, and I am going to slide them into my bowl carefully without... Did y'all see how quick I did that? I didn't even drop one. Okay, so we've got the bell peppers in here. Let me see what everybody's saying. Robin, you're in Georgia. Hey, Robin, I see you a lot on here. Robin Bascara. I hope I'm saying, it makes me think of mascara. So Bascara, I think I've got that. All right, guys, so I'm going to keep, grew up in England, Brenda. You go. That's awesome. I bet you have an amazing accent. Growing up in England. Do you have an accent, or maybe you don't? I don't know. But okay, so we got the bell peppers in there. I'm going to need this. Okay. We need Worcestershire. Worcestershire sauce is how I say it. Don't laugh at me. I know there's like 5 different ways. Some people say Worcestershire. What do you say? Worcestershire? Worcestershire. I have a hard time spelling it too. But most of you know regular Worcestershire has anchovies in it, which makes it not be vegan. And we need vegan. So there is a vegan option. They're not paying me anything either, but it's called Annie's. I can pick this up, and I do pick this up at a little, it's in just down the road from us, a little mom and pop health food store, the Nature's Food Store in Tryon. They carry this, so probably I know Whole Foods and Earth Fare and all those places would carry it. A regular grocery store is probably not going to have this because it's a specialty item. Years ago, our little local shop, could you use my link and put that on there too? Go through Amazon and get my link?
Mm-hmm. I can do it.
Yeah, and so she's going to put that on there, but our local little no-name Laura Lynn brand used to not have anchovies, and now they've added it, so I can't recommend them anymore. But I think it's a tablespoon of this, I'm pretty sure. And I'm just going to be honest, when you cook for a long time, like I know many of you do, you quit measuring. She's putting links up, so you're going to have the measurements. If I tell you, you probably want to check it. Don't even listen to what I say, because I'm maybe wrong, but I'm going to say a teaspoon or a tablespoon of this. And keep in mind, I've got 2 batches going, so I'm not even measuring. It's not, not really a science. So, but that's about what you're going to put, and this just gives it a really good savory flavor. So, but all right, so that's the Worcestershire sauce. Let me see what they call it. That's what they call it too. All right, so
somebody asked a question. Wanted
got
to
a
know
question?
If you had ever done an interview with Chef AJ?
I have, yes, I have done. Somebody's asking if I've been on Chef AJ, and I have been on there twice.
Anderson.
Hey, Heather. I have. If you go to Chef AJ's YouTube channel, I've been on twice. I can't remember what I made. I think I might have made my chocolate mousse one time. Both of them have been this year. No, well, I think one was last year and one was this year. But yes, I did get to be on Chef AJ. I love her. She's awesome. But yeah, you can find those two on her YouTube channel if you search under her. Okay, ketchup. Don't have a clue how much ketchup. I just don't. Maybe 3 tablespoons. Okay, I think it was 3 tablespoons of ketchup. This just doesn't look like enough. I bet I measured that out when I was thinking it was just 1. But 3 tablespoons of ketchup. We're going to add a little bit of, this doesn't go in this one. That goes in the oven. Okay, that was cumin. That's actually going to go in the Chipotle sauce. Oh, okay. So we're going to add some onion powder. And I think it's a teaspoon of onion powder. You guys, I know you're watching me, and I don't have this measured out, and I'm doing it on my own, but if you're ever cooking over a hot, this is fine. This is not hot. This is room temperature, but don't ever open your spices to pour some in over a hot pot, because it lets the steam in, and then your spices are going to clump up from then on. They're going to have moisture in them, so don't do that. But over a room temperature pan like that, we can. That was garlic powder, by the way. And then chili powder, a teaspoon. Just check the measurements, because I really don't know. I've made this so many times, I just don't look anymore, and so I don't remember. But chili powder is what I'm putting in now. And this is the one that you can't tell Mickey about. Cayenne. This is optional. If you don't like things spicy, you can leave it out completely, but if you only put a little bit, you get a good bit of flavor without the heat. I can't put much in here, because I think on the recipe I say a pinch, and who in the world knows what a pinch is. One time I was in this, it's like a general store in Hendersonville, and they had a set of measuring spoons, and instead of saying a tablespoon and a teaspoon, they said a pinch, and I forgot what all they said. It was hilarious.
Dab or whatever.
Dab. Yeah, things like that. And it was so cute. I almost bought them. I wish I would have, but I didn't. But yeah, you have to go easy on the cayenne, because it is warm, and I do have a husband that will protest greatly if he feels the heat, and I'm trying to work in past that, y'all, because I love the heat. I didn't like heat as much before going plant-based as I do now, but he does great, and it does add flavor, and you can do it a little tiny bit even if you don't like spice, because if you just add a tiny little pinch, you won't feel the heat, but you'll get the flavor. And this is smoked paprika, not just regular. You can use, if you just have regular paprika, and you want to make this, by all means do. But I do love the smoky flavor that this adds to it. So again, maybe a teaspoon, I don't know, but again, I would go heavy on this. I'm making 2 batches, so I'm going to go a little heavy. And oftentimes I'll just sprinkle this over the top once I get the patties made too. All right, one ingredient that I get a lot of questions about when you go to see the recipe is steak seasoning, which is just dry seasoning. And oftentimes people will say, I don't have that. What's in it? Where do I get it? You have to be careful. Some of them do have oil and stuff mixed in it. There's one that I like. It's called Steak Me Home. I think it's made by Wayward Gourmet or something like that. You can get it on Amazon. But I don't have any right now. And if you don't have any, you can still make this recipe. I'm just going to put pepper. Steak seasoning has like, I don't know what all kinds of spices, probably garlic and chili powder and maybe some hotter peppers and things like that. But you don't have to have it. It is an ingredient, but you don't have to have it. You can just use regular pepper if you want to when you're doing that. I think that's all of our ingredients. All right, so it still seems like we need, I don't know, we're going to see. I'm going to mix this up. And all right, so here's the thing. You can mix it up with a spoon if you want to, and I'm probably going to start with the spoon. But there comes a point where you're going to have to get your hands dirty. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but I'm going to highly recommend that you do because, you know, I mash the beans with the bean masher, but I really want them to marry up with these other ingredients. So my hands are clean, and I am just going to, I guess you call it kneading. It's very much like kneading. You just like squishing it through your fingers like that and getting the oats and the beans and the spices all kind of married up. I'm going to see what you guys are saying real quick. Oh, I see Erin Rose. Oh, she's putting, she put the measuring spoons up. She must have found them with the dab and the pinch and all that good. That's awesome. Hey, you know what? I don't have any of those. I'm going to show you something for a second. I don't have any of those. I think that they're cute. They would be expensive to give away. But I do have some of these. Does anybody need measuring spoons? If you need measuring spoons, then comment. And whoever comments first, I'll ship them to you. I like this brand. Again, they don't pay me, but I like this brand. And I have this brand, and I have these. And they're not the ones. They don't say pinch and dab and all that cute stuff. They're just regular, because you guys wouldn't be able to make anything with that. Unless you're from the South, you might. But whoever wants these, then you can have them. I need spoons. Susan Miller, you PM me your mailing address, and I will mail these to you on Friday, okay? And I will wipe off this black bean batter that I have gotten on them, I promise. They'll be clean when you get them. So Susan Miller got the spoons. And I have one other thing I'm going to give away, Sid's book, just shortly. But let me get this batter mix. Okay, so this is how you know if you got this batter right or not, and how to fix it if you don't have it. You want it this consistency. It's really very similar to ground beef consistency. If you feel like it's too dry, and what we want is, oh snap, I should have made my pan up first. It's okay. Hold on. What you want is for these patties to stick together well, not to be runny or anything else. If it is too wet, then you need to add more oats, okay? If it is too dry, then add a little more ketchup or the vegan Worcestershire sauce. All right, I have a pan. Y'all, I want to tell you about this pan for just 1 second. It looks rough, but it was my grandma's pan. And we lost my grandma, it was a year ago in January. So I use her pan sometimes. I don't know. I love all those marks on it. I can't get that black stuff off. But I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper over. Oh, somebody's text messaging me. That's okay. I'm not gonna answer it. It just came up across the top, and I was like, boy, how did she get special treatment? Everybody else's is down low. But I'm putting a piece of parchment paper over the pan so that it won't stick, and I don't have to use oil or anything. And this paper is good for up to 400 degrees. By the way, you do need to, if you guys are cooking this with me right now, which I hope some of you are, if you are cooking this right now with me, would you tell me you're cooking right now? Because that just makes me so happy. I love it when you go get the ingredients ahead of time when I put it and then make it with me. So, go ahead. If you're cooking right now, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, okay? And we're going to get our pans ready. And I'm going to set this, yeah, y'all can see that right there. Move my little thing out of the way. Lord, don't let it fall on the floor. That's all I know, especially when I get food on it. Okay, so this is what we want. This should this is 2 batches, so it's going to make probably maybe 10 things. So the size of the patty really just depends on what you want. It's this is about the size. You can kind of see what I'm doing, like the palm full, and then you're just going to press it, and it's not runny and it's not dry. Can you guys see that? A lot of people complain, not about these burgers, but about other burgers, black bean burgers, that are mushy. These are not mushy. If these turn out mushy, you didn't put enough oats, or you put too much liquid. Something got off. These should not be mushy. These, I tell people, are thick enough and firm enough. If you wanted to put them on your grill, you can. I like baking them because I think just the finished product is just so much even more firm if you bake them. But yeah, these are not mushy. Actually, when I was making these, I made these for the first time maybe a couple or 3 months ago. No, I didn't make them for the first time live on a show for Chef Dale. You guys know Chef Dale? He's like the moderator, or I don't know what you call him, but he works with Dr. Campbell's CNS Kitchen, the Center for Nutrition Studies kitchen, and they asked me to come on and make a recipe, and I thought, well, I'll make my black bean burgers because I have never made those live before. And so I did. I went on there, and that's the first place I've ever done it before, and I was telling them the story of, there's a nice, well, little but nice restaurant around here. It's not vegan, but you can get, you can get a portobello burger or a black bean burger there. And so I ordered black bean burgers, a black bean burger, sometime back, and it got to me. And okay, I did love the fact that it was obviously made there. It wasn't a frozen black bean burger. I did like that. It was very obvious that it was homemade. But you want to talk about mushy? That thing was so mushy. The flavor was good, but it was so mushy. I told my husband, I said, I am so tempted, just as nicely as I can, to just ask them if they would like to try my black bean burger recipe, because when you bite into a burger, you don't want it to just be like, and I won't say pudding, but not much better than pudding. Even if the flavor's there, that texture's important with a black bean burger to me. So I didn't go give it to them. I probably should have, but I won't order black bean burgers there again. But if you've had mushy black bean burgers in the past, try these. Give it one more try. Don't give up just yet. Give it one more try, because I promise you, if you get the ingredients right, and they are right on the website, so if you get the ingredients right, then you are not going to have mushy burgers. I think this last patty is going to be a really big one, because it's not big enough for 2, and so that's not too bad. It's a good handful, but here we go, last patty. And you see how I'm forming them with my hands? I'm just going around and rounding them out. And so you can see the yellow in there and a little bit of green from the peppers. But when it's red bell pepper, it's even prettier. I just love, you do get messy hands though. You get messy hands, but that's okay. They clean. And so now they're ready to be put into the oven. And I'm going to poke them in there real quick. And we're going to make the Chipotle sauce, because these burgers are great. You don't have to have the Chipotle sauce, but I'm going to highly, highly recommend Chipotle sauce. Yes. We got a question.
Heather wants to know if you've ever added liquid smoke.
Ooh, you know what, Heather? I have not added liquid smoke, but that is an excellent idea. I think that would really take the flavor up even another notch. So, heck yes, I say go for it. Hey, you try it. I'm getting rid of my bowl. You try it, and then let us know. Did I put onions in there? Oh, I forgot my onions, y'all. Look, you need onions. Dadgum. That's okay. Mine are not going to have, well, remember I told you I've made some other batches. My other batches are going to have onions. You do need onions, I think, because it adds so much flavor. These don't, but the ones in the oven do. So I can't believe I started talking and forgot. Oh well, they'll be there for later. And you can always add fresh onions on the top, which we will anyway. So I'm going to put these in the oven. And remind me, we'll get those other ones out in a few minutes. So now we're going to make the Chipotle sauce. I've got my blender right here to show you how this is done. All right, let me bring it over here without dropping anything. All right, so, okay, now we got it. All right, so the first ingredient for the Chipotle sauce to top the burgers with, oh gosh, it is so good. The Chipotle sauce is just amazing. That's the reason I really want to encourage you to do it, because the burgers are great, and topped with Chipotle sauce, it just like goes to a crazy new level. So make this too. But to make it, you have to make my mayonnaise. And so, but the mayonnaise is going to be made with tofu. I've got extra firm. You could use just regular firm. You could even use soft. It's just going to depend. It's just, the only difference is the consistency at the end. And what you see now, it chills in the refrigerator and thickens up even more. So, all right, we're going to start here. If I can find my scissors. Oh, here we go. All right, so we've talked about tofu in the past and the different kinds of tofu. This is not the kind of tofu that you find in the refrigerator section. I'm just cutting the box open. The kind in the refrigerator section you can use if you want to. But it's packed in a whole lot of water. So that, I don't know if you can see this. That's all the water. You can see a few drips. That's all that's coming out of this, because this is shelf stable. You can find it on the shelf in many grocery stores. But the produce section, the refrigerated kind, has a lot of water. So before you use it, you're going to need to drain it. You're going to need to press it. You're going to need to get that water out completely. But if you get the shelf stable kind, tongue twister, then it's not packed with a lot of water. Most of the time I don't even drain it at all, because there's just no real water in it. And the reason I like this too, I can keep it on hand. You know, the kind that comes in the refrigerator section, you got to use it within 3 weeks or something like that, or it's going to go bad. Or freeze it. I love to freeze it, but after you freeze that produce, don't ever freeze this kind. But if you have the produce kind and you freeze it, you will not be able to make a sauce with it, because it changes the structure of it and it's spongy, which is great if you're making a stir fry or like a tofu scramble or something like that, but not when you're making a sauce. When you're making sauce, you need it to be smooth and silky, so don't ever use frozen tofu for a sauce. Use it straight out of the produce section, you know, drained, or use the shelf stable, and don't ever freeze this kind. It just won't work nice. Okay, so you've got a block of tofu. This is going to make about not a quart, but about a pint of mayonnaise. So the next ingredient is going to be about maybe a quarter or a half teaspoon of salt. I'd say about a quarter. And then you're going to need a little sweetener. I have pure cane sugar, and it's just a tablespoon. But if you want to, some people make this with maple syrup. Just know it's going to have a maple syrup flavor to it if you do that. But I do use this pure cane sugar or sucanat. I know that's a crazy sounding name, but it's just a more raw type sugar, but something like that. I tasted stevia for the first time out of the garden. You'll see it on the video later on this week. The kids are growing stevia. It's just leaves. It's like an herb, and it's leaves. And so I went up there and I tasted it, and it's crazy that those leaves taste like sweetener, but they did. So we've got a little bit of salt, a little bit of sweetener. We need a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. So I'm going to go about, and you know what? If you don't have red wine vinegar, you could use regular vinegar. You can even, and I've done it, use lemon juice if you want to. You just need a tangy. So that's what, I wouldn't use balsamic. I mean, it probably would taste great, but your mayonnaise is going to be, unless you use white balsamic, it's going to be like, you know what? This is pretty dark too, so maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. But anyway, you don't have to have specifically red wine. I just like the flavor of that. Then you've got Dijon mustard, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. And if you get it on your fingers, it's just like more flavoring. I don't know. But anyway, it's in there. That's the only ingredients for the mayonnaise. And so she's linking the mayonnaise too. We're going to take it for a spin. And I don't think we'll need
Heather wants to know, would date syrup work for a sweetener?
Heather, I think date syrup would work for a sweetener. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. That's a good idea. You know, you probably haven't tried it myself, but you probably just use a date or a date and a half, depending on if you've got the major dates, then they're bigger ones. But a date or two, you could do it. It might be a little harder if you did that to get it smooth enough, but the date paste or the date syrup is an excellent idea. So yes, Heather, that's great. All right, this is going to get loud for just a second. I'm not going to run it long, so hold your ears. Well, you have to turn the power button on first. This is your Vitamix demonstration. Mayonnaise in my refrigerator all the time. We put it on sandwiches. I use it to make slaw. I use it to make potato salad. I even use it to make mashed potatoes. Don't laugh, it's a thing in the South. Grandma and Mama always put mayonnaise in their mashed potatoes, so I do too. But it's this kind of mayonnaise with no eggs, no cholesterol, anything like that in it. But I would blend it a little bit more. But, you know, for anything else, I'm not blending it as much right now because we're fixing to use it. I'm going to have to blend it again for the Chipotle sauce. So I think it says in the recipe to use 1 cup of the mayonnaise. It's like make the mayonnaise and then use 1 cup of it to make a batch of this Chipotle sauce. And it makes about a pint. I'm going to go ahead and use it all. But you guys, if you're doing this, just use a cup of it. I'm going to make like a double batch of it because we love it, and why not? Some people have asked me too, especially with the mayonnaise, if they don't eat a lot of mayonnaise and they don't think that they'll use the whole pint that this thing makes, what to do. I say cut it in half, do a half a batch, and use the other half of the tofu to make my chocolate mousse. Can you link my chocolate mousse? Mm-hmm. Sis is gonna, Shelbo, is gonna link the chocolate mousse because you'll eat the whole thing if it's chocolate mousse. So use half for chocolate mousse and half for mayonnaise, and then you won't have any going bad. This lasts for about up to 2 weeks. If you keep it in a really airtight container, I put it in a little mason jar. In the refrigerator, I tend to put it towards the back of the refrigerator so that it's not, constant opening of the doors. It's more of a stable temperature towards the back. But yeah, it lasts a good couple of weeks. So, all right, so you use a cup of this, and then you're going to add the other ingredients for the Chipotle sauce, which are, we're going to add a little bit of garlic powder. You'll have to look at the measurements because I'm thinking it might be a teaspoon, but I'm probably wrong. So we need that. We need some smoked paprika. Brenda, hold on. Brenda says that didn't help. Started using earplugs when I'm using my blender and food processor. That's probably a good idea. These things get so loud. Okay, so this is smoked paprika. We're going to add a little bit there. And y'all gonna laugh at me. Cumin or cumin. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I do not know which is right, and it doesn't matter. But you're gonna don't leave this out because you may say, okay, because it's more of an Indian, it's very popular, but I think of Indian food when I think of cumin. But you may think, oh, I don't like that. You know what? We probably need just a little bit more of that. Yeah, here it is. I'm going to put a little bit more because this is a bigger batch. But You may think that you don't like it because you've tasted it in something else and maybe weren't crazy about it. This recipe, I'm going to highly recommend you give it a try, even if you do it in a small amount. I think that it's key. I have made this before and accidentally left it out at first and then thought, what in the world? That doesn't taste like it's supposed to. And it was always the cumin. So, all right, so we've got that in there. We're going to add just a little bit more sweetener. And you don't have to add a little bit more salt, but I am going to add just a tad. Not much. And then, lemon, two more things we need. We need, not lemon, but lime juice. I'm going to add lime juice. You can do it, you can squeeze your own limes if you want to. That's great. I'm going to just use it from the bottle. This bottle did not come with this nozzle on it. I just buy the bottles and then take the tops off and use the spritzer because I spritz, I don't know how much lime juice. Y'all look at the recipe. We're going to go with about that much. I use the spritzer to spritz everything. My corn on the cob, popcorn, veggie bowls. I find myself just spritzing all the time. So I leave it in the refrigerator with the nozzle on it. It's not a special nozzle. It's just one I got in the household section. I think you get like 3 at a time at Walmart or something like that. So I spritz more than I pour. So I just leave it in the refrigerator door like that. Oh, and this is where the heat comes from. And you can go easy or you can go strong. This is just chilies and adobe sauce. And you can use the powder if you want. If you have the adobe powder, dry powder, you can use it too. I'm using the chilies with a little bit of sauce. If you don't like it warm, I'll suggest starting out really, really easy. Oh, hey, Dale. Dale's here. She says she's sorry she's late. I'm glad you're here. Better late than never. We're making Chipotle sauce, Dale. And we're making black bean burgers too. So we just put the chili in here, and so that's all that it needs. And we're going to take it for another spin. And this recipe, you do have to, I think you have to taste test when you make it, because you're probably going to have to tweak things here and there, maybe. Let me just say, especially, again, I would do it longer. I don't want to bust your eardrums, and I can do it longer after we're not live anymore. But I do want to taste test it, because once you taste test, if you'll know, does it need a little more twang? If it does, then that's going to be the lime juice. Actually, that tastes pretty perfect. That tastes really good. And this doesn't taste hot to me at all. I know my tastes have adjusted, and I like hot stuff, but this doesn't taste hot to me really at all. So Mickey will not be mad about this. He will love it. Can you see? So what we do is put this on the burgers. I'm going to move this and I'm going to pull the burger patties out, guys, so you can see what the texture is when they're cooked. And we're going to talk about buns. So hang on, I'm just going to set that right there. Swing around. Those Vitamix things are heavy. Okay. All right. So here we go. I've got the cooked ones. Yours are going to cook for 25 to 30 minutes, depending on your stove. These are actually already cooled a little bit. I just broke a bowl. I broke a pinch bowl. It's a little bit. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. But it fell in my sink and broke. It's okay. I have like a ton of them from when I used to do classes. So, all right, so these are the burgers, and I want you to see that they are not, I'm not going to break that one. It doesn't matter. I'm going to see that they're not mushy at all. Can you see this? I'm hoping you can see this. They are yummy. They're not dry. They are just the perfect texture and density. So what we would do would be to, okay, buns. We'll talk about buns for a second, because so many people have questions about buns. Oil-free buns, the only ones that are pre-made that I know about are Ezekiel buns. And you'll find them in the freezer section of some grocery stores, but they are hard to find. You were trying to find.
Earth Fare had them.
Earth Fare had them.
I saw some Targets were saying that they carried them, but I didn't check Target and Whole Foods also.
Okay, my sister is saying that she saw Target say that they had them, which really surprises me, but I don't know. We don't have a Target like really close to us, so I don't go to Target a lot, but try Targets. She found them at Earth Fare. And what was the other one you said?
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. Whole Foods. We don't have any of those around here, so I sent her after some just recently. When we go buy like Whole Foods or Earth Fare, we have to buy everything in quantities because we just don't go enough. But she found them.
Deanne wants to know, you don't flip the burgers halfway, do you?
No, good question, Deanne. I don't. And there's Coda. Hey, Coda. Coda is my sister Drenda's son. Hey, Co. And he happens to be my neighbor. He and his little family, Sarah and Seiko, their little baby. I don't flip them. You don't have to. Now, of course, if they're on the grill, you probably would. But just in the oven, only thing I do occasionally, and you don't have to, is part of the way through, I might spin my pan around a little bit, the whole pan, just to make sure everything's cooking evenly. But you don't have to do that, and I don't. I don't flip them. I just let them do their thing. And so, thankfully, you don't have to worry about going and flipping them part of the way through. But that's a good question. I didn't even think to mention that. I'm glad you guys ask away, because those questions are going to help somebody else. But Ezekiel Buns, if you want to buy them pre-made, Nutritiously is another website, and she has I think it's a whole wheat bun recipe that you could try if you want to make your own buns. I also saw on another website just recently that had a bun recipe that was oil-free. Can't remember now what it was. If I think of it, I'll link it. So those are your options. Or if you're completely gluten-free and you don't want to do a bun at all, just use greens. Or, I hit my leg. A lot of you know about Dave's Killer Bread. This particular, they have a lot of different flavors. This particular one, the green, is oil-free. So you could use this bread for a bun if you want to. You can see it's very, very seeded. This is the kind of bread we absolutely love. Ezekiel bread, I'm not talking about the buns, but the bread in the freezer section we'll use occasionally for toast and things like that, but it is very much on the drier side. So if we're making sandwiches, I'm going to use this because it is very, I don't think moist is a good word for bread, but it's a great texture for bread. It's softer, that's the better one. So I do like it, but for hamburger buns, Ezekiel's going to be the way you need to go for only one. Unless, do you guys know of another oil-free pre-made bun? Did somebody say
Robin
it?
says that Chef Julia has a bun that's oil-free.
Oh, and I love Chef Julia. Good. She's the one I told you has all the Japanese recipes.
Well,
my sister cooks. She's the one that does all the Japanese because she lived in Japan. As you saw, her son's name is Koda, and Yosuke and Aya are her other kids. But she lived in Japan back in the 80s and the 90s, and so where was I going with that? Oh, I was telling her recently she makes all these wonderful Japanese recipes that you guys are we're putting them up, and she's got soba noodles coming in a few weeks and other things. But Chef Julia is half Japanese too, and so she makes a lot of Japanese foods.
You've got a couple of really good ideas up there.
Okay. Okay. Dave's Killer Bread. Oh, it has sugar in it. Worth mentioning. Okay. Yes, I guess that is worth. It does have sugar in it, so if you're completely sugar-free, then it does. And Sid says Shane Simple's biscuit recipe. Makes good buns. That's good to know. And Dale's saying the bread was delicious. Okay, you just flew away. Dave's Killer. I can't keep up with you guys. Texture changed. Strangely chewy. Oh, really? Heather thinks that it's chewy now. I haven't noticed that yet, but when we buy it, we freeze it. So we may be eating some that's from whenever. I don't know if they made a change to the recipe or not, but anyway, those are some of your options for bread for a bun if you want to do that. Or, like I said, these things are so good and so crumbly, you don't even have to serve it as a burger. You can crumble it up over a bowl of rice with seasonings, over a veggie bowl, over a salad. I did it recently over salads. Just add your salad dressing on the top and it's just terrific.
We eat it like hamburger steak. I don't even use the bun. We just serve it over the top of rice.
Oh, yeah?
And use your Chipotle sauce and bulldog sauce.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, so my sister's saying that she makes these and just makes a bowl of rice. They're like us. They eat a lot of rice. It comes from living in Japan. And because of her, I eat a lot of rice. We've been, since you were in Japan, 30-something years, we always eat a lot of rice. So she said they take a bowl of rice and eat it like hamburger steak. You guys know hamburger steak. Just put it on the bowl of rice, and she said use the Chipotle sauce as the seasoning. And then she mentioned bulldog sauce. Bulldog sauce is something you can get at the Asian store. It definitely has sugar in it. It doesn't have any oil in it. At least the ones that I've read the ingredients don't. But it has a really good flavor. But that's something you'll find only at Asian grocery store. Tonkatsu, right?
I'll put a link up.
She's going to put a link up. But I think it's called tonkatsu.
Bulldog vegetable and fruit tonkatsu sauce.
Bulldog vegetable, fruit, and tonkatsu sauce. So, but yeah, that's another one. And I didn't think about mixing the two of those, but there's so many different ways that you could eat this. But the biggest, I think, takeaway is they're not mushy. You got to try them. So, oh, wow, it's already 2. I'm going to look and we got to give a book away. Okay, Sid's book. All right, Sid's book. I didn't mean to go this long. I talk too much. But Sid's book, The Plan A Diet, is awesome. Like I said, it's faith-based and helps guide and give strength through Scripture, even for things like diet, going plant-based and sticking to it and all these things. So she's done a wonderful job of that. And so she says, combining whole food plant-based nutrition with the timeless wisdom of Scripture. And we gave one away last week, and there were so many people were saying that they wanted it, but we only had one. So somebody, Helena says she loves the book. Okay, yes, I do too. I absolutely love the book. And it does have some recipes and a meal planner in the back. So somebody who does not already have the book and wants it, oh, Tammy, Sid, you've got a fan. Tammy said, Sid, yes. And so great ideas all the way around. Oh, Janie, is that Janie? Family? Janie Collins. Huh. Janie, if that's the Janie Collins I think it is, she's married into the family. Hey, Janie. All right, guys. So we have this book. Sid has been so gracious. I don't even have to mail it to the winner. She said that she will send it. Sid, will you autograph it too? Since you wrote it, will you autograph it? Author of book, please. What does that mean? Eleanor.
She wants to know who it is.
Oh, Sid Nodder. Sid Nodder is the author of this book, and she is awesome, and her book is awesome. And Becky says, pick me. I would love this book. Well, Becky, is it Anseth? Maybe not be saying that right, but Becky Anseth, you PM me your address. You just won the book, sister. Okay, awesome. And you're going to love the book. I really do love it. I think that you'll like it. It's got so much information in it. And Dale says, y'all don't forget to pray for each other and remember what does that say?
Hawaii needs prayers.
Oh, Hawaii
and we have
needs
somebody,
prayers.
Cindy from Hawaii is on here.
Cindy from Hawaii, you're on here. Oh, wow. I've been watching that on the news. Heartbreaking. Let's definitely be praying for Hawaii and all the folks there that have lost so much and the people that they've lost. So, yeah, definitely be praying for that. We have been and will continue to do that, to lift you guys up. So thank you for tuning in. That's awesome that I'm glad that you see. It's so great having my sister here. She can bring me into all the things. All right, so we will be giving another one of these books away, maybe even next week. We're going to be giving different things away at different times. We have one more to give away. Sid, if you don't mind autographing the book, I will get you the address was it Becky was the winner, I think?
Becky.
Becky, I'll get you Becky's address when she gets it to me, and then Sid, the author, is going to mail it straight out to you. So how wonderful. Okay, so guys, I didn't mean to take over an hour. I really intend
Diane
to do...
said she signed hers last week.
Oh, did she? Yay! Diane won the book last week, and so she did sign yours. Awesome! I'm so glad. Sid's a wonderful person. Just a heart, a big heart, and I love her dearly. So thank you, Sid, for donating these books, for signing the books and giving them away to the winners. Appreciate that so much, and we will give another one away. I know some of you are still wanting it, so okay, Heather, you could stuff a large portobello mushroom cap with the mixture. Ooh, and then bake it. That would be an awesome baked mushroom recipe. You're right, Heather. That's a good idea. I love that idea. Okay, guys, we're going to sign off. In the future, we're going to be here again next Tuesday, live, probably talking about pasta and making Alfredo. What is Notter? Eleanor. It's Notter. Notter. Actually, I'll show you right here. See, Sid Notter. But the book is available on Amazon. We'll link it on Amazon. We'll do a link for it too, so that you guys can buy it if you didn't win it and you want it, because it's a good book. Love you too, Dale. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to do this again next week. We're going to be making Alfredo sauce, unless I change my mind. We're going to be talking about the different kinds of pasta, the gluten-free and then the regular whole wheat, and different options that you can do. So we'll be in the kitchen again next week, and bring your questions. If you would, comment below with anything you would like to see us talk about, because I love, oh, Cheryl, thank you. Cheryl Diane says, don't forget to sprinkle and water. Thank you. Sprinkle and water. We can't say the S word, not the bad 4-letter word, but the SHA word. We can't say that. So please sprinkle and water the black bean recipe and the chipotle recipe and the mayonnaise recipe, all the ones that my sister Brenda Michelle Shelbo is putting up. If you would, sprinkle and water those so that other people can see them and try them and think that it's awesome, and we can grow together. Thank you guys for being, Dale says sprinkle, guys. Yes, thank you for doing that. Thank you for tuning in. Cheryl, you have a blessed week. She said everybody have a blessed week. I think from me and Shelbo too, Brenda Michelle too, I hope all of you have, what does that say? Notices, please? What does notices mean, Eleanor? I'm not sure. Maybe you can PM me. I don't know what notices means, but yes, next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Time, we will be back. Hey, Deanne, you're welcome for the recipes. You're welcome. Love you too. Oh, Dale says love you, Shelby. She loves you too, Dale. But tune in next Tuesday. We will be giving more prizes away. I will be shipping out the people who won the book, the measuring spoons, and the coffee cup on Friday. So one person last week got theirs the next day. I couldn't believe that. But yeah, so to watch, thank you. We'll put a link up. You know what? I'll try to put a link up. I haven't made the event yet. So when I make the event, I'll try to put it up here. But you'll find, we'll go live on Facebook. If you keep watching the EatPlant-Based Facebook page, the event goes up usually by Thursday or Friday, so you can tune in. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you'll tune in again next Tuesday, and we have another video coming out on Thursday of Millie and Emmett's garden. So I want you guys to share the love with them. Watch that video. We'll be giving something away on Thursday too, so you'll want to watch that video. We're going to give away another coffee mug Thursday. It'll be a video instead of a live, but share the love with Millie and Emmett. They love reading the comments and knowing that you guys saw their garden. So that'll be coming up on Thursday. All right. Bye. Becky's saying thank you. You're welcome, Becky. Thank you, guys. Marlia, Marla Brundles. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, you guys have been awesome. Go make these black bean burgers and sprinkle and water them and pray for Hawaii, guys. All right, love you guys. Take care. Bye. Now I have to hit the button.